3 homemade bombs went off today near Egypt's presidential palace in Cairo, killing 2 senior police officers and wounding 8 people in an attack that fell on the first anniversary of the mass protests that led to the ouster of then-President Mohamed Morsi. All the devices were planted less than 20 meters away from the walls of the Ithadiyah Palace in the upscale Heliopolis district in eastern Cairo. It was not immediately clear whether President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi was inside the palace when the blast went off. An al-Qaeda splinter group has declared all the land in Iraq and Syria that it has now under its control as a caliphate state. The Islamic State in Iraq and Levant, otherwise known as ISIL, has dropped the locality in its name and now is just known as Islamic State. Its leader is now considered the Caliph of the Muslim world, a title last used in medieval times by the Ottoman Empire. Today, Iraqi troops attempted to prevent the group from seizing the city of Tikrit. Thailand's military government has said it has begun an overhaul of the electoral system. The move comes after an announcement by junta leader General Prayuth Chan-o-cha that polls could take place by late 2015. The military took power on May 22nd in a bloodless coup following 6 months of street demonstrations that contributed to the ousting of Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. The United States and the European Union downgraded diplomatic ties with Thailand after the coup. Washington has called for a quick return to civilian government and a move toward free and fair elections.
North Korea says it will try to detain U.S. citizens for committing crimes against the state. Jeffrey Fowle and Matthew Miller are being held in custody, but no details have been given on when they would face court. Jeffrey Fowle, a 56-year-old street repair worker from Miamisburg, Ohio, was arrested after entering North Korea as a tourist in late April. Matthew Miller was traveling alone and little else is known about him. A Russian television cameraman was killed overnight in a shooting in East Ukraine. Moscow said the killing undermined faith in Kiev's desire to resolve weeks of conflict peacefully. Anatoly Klyan worked for state-owned Channel One and was the 3rd Russian journalist killed since pro-Russian separatists began an uprising against central rule in April. Klyan was shot in the stomach while accompanying a group of soldiers' mothers being driven to a pro-Kiev military unit to meet their sons and take them home.
Psychiatrists in the Oscar Pistorius murder trial say that the Olympic athlete had no mental disorder at the time he shot his girlfriend, Reeva Steenkamp, to death. The Paralympic sprinter maintains that he mistook her for an intruder hiding in his toilet as he shot her several times through the door on Valentine's Day of last year. The killing happened at his home in Pretoria, South Africa. The trial still continues.
A barrage of mortar shells hit government-held areas of the northern city of Idlib on Monday, killing 14 people and wounding at least 50. Idlib is the provincial capital in northwestern Syria, and it has been under the control of President Bashar Assad's troops since the beginning of the Syrian conflict in March 2011. Rebels trying to overthrow Assad's government are in control of the areas around the city. The owner of the sunken ferry Sewol disaster had earlier been blamed for 5 other crashes before the Sewol disaster. Another ship owned by the same company crashed into an oil tanker 11 years earlier. The ferry's captain had chosen the difficult water path to cut a mere 7 miles from its journey and save on fuel. It did so again with the Sewol, the same waterway in which it sank in. Chong Hae-jin's license has been revoked, and authorities continue to search for the patriarch of the family that owns the company, 73-year-old billionaire Yoo Byung-eun.